Hey everybody, I wanted to give some examples of how to fix citations. Many of the articles that you'll find and the ebooks that you'll find on the Shapiro Library have a handy tool called Cite that many of you have probably used. And the citation tool will give you access to a variety of citation formats. So for example, here's an article that I used in a response to a discussion board post this week. And when I click on the Cite button, it gives me citation formats in various forms. Now, this is a great place to start. Please be aware that for us, we're going to use Chicago 17th edition notes and bibliography. That is the same as Turabian, and remember, we always use notes and bibliography. But even though this is a good place to start, it is only a starting point because these automatically generated citations often have errors. And so I just wanted to show you from a couple of them that I ran across today how I fix those errors, which is what I also expect you to do. So first of all, I'm going to paste in what I got from the citation generator. So this is really close to being what it should be, but there's a couple of things you always want to check. Obviously, you should check the name. For bibliographies, I'm going to put the word bibliography on here too in correct Turabian format. So bibliography is going to be bolded and centered at the top of the page. There's going to be an extra line after it. So one thing you want to make sure of is that it's always last name first. This is confusing for students often because footnotes are first name first, but bibliographies are going to be last name first. And sometimes that's not caught. You're going to see that in my other example. You also want to check capitalization. This is capitalized correctly for Chicago. But then we have the title of the journal. Notice this is in all caps. It should not be in all caps. So I just need to fix that so that it is not. Like so. Notice it follows typical capitalization rules where we don't capitalize prepositions like of or conjunctions like and unless they're at the start of a title, and they aren't here, so we don't capitalize them. And then for journals, we're never going to include a date. We're going to include a date. We're never include the day of the month. So it's just going to be February 2022. And honestly, sometimes it's okay to just put 2022. I always like to include the month if it's there. Whoops, wrong thing. There we go. So this is also correct. Make sure you have the entire page range of the article. And then at the end, you can have either a DOI like this. That stands for a document object identifier maybe. Or you could have a URL. I don't care which you have at the end. But you should have something if it's online to help your reader find it. Now, if this were going to be done in a paper, I would want to then use a hanging indent. And although a paper is supposed to be double-spaced, bibliography citations, and this is also true for footnotes, are supposed to be single-spaced. And so bibliographies use a hanging indent just like this. So I have fixed this bibliography entry. It is now in correct Turabian format. I didn't have to do a lot of work, just a little. So let me now paste in the other one that I found today. So here is a book that I found. This has a few more errors. So one of them is that it is the wrong order of names. It is first name first. It is Kurt, forgive me, I don't speak German. It is Kurt Prüfer and Kevin Morrow. And so we need first name second. So I'm just going to move Kurt to after Prüfer. Put a comma after that, like so. Now that part is correct. Notice here, and Word even knows this is wrong, you're often going to see an extra space before a colon, and you should never have a space before a colon. There will never be a space before a colon. So I'm going to get rid of that extra space. The rest of the capitalization is correct. There aren't other extra spaces there. I need to double check. You do not need titles of series like this, so I'm going to take that out. You do always need place of publication. London is okay. You could put England after it if you wanted, but London, the reader is going to assume it means London. For major world cities, London, Berlin, Tokyo, New Delhi. You can just put the name, but if you think your reader might be confused, you should include the name of the country. And then for the publisher, I like to put a space after periods for abbreviations of names. So I'm going to do that there. And then the year. And then here we have just the URL. This is not, by the way, an ideal URL. You wouldn't use this if you were like actually publishing this article. You're writing over it. But for a school paper, it's fine. So notice because I had this set up as a hanging indent, this one also just happened to become a hanging in Word. Here, I'm going to change this. I have one extra space here that I don't want. So I'm just going to make this single. So now I have 1, 2, it looks like. I think that's right. So this is what the bibliography would look like. And I just share this because it's really easy and quick to use that automatic citation generator that is available in many of the library databases, but it will make errors. It doesn't make errors all the time, but it makes errors occasionally. And so when it makes an error, you need to go in and fix it. And it's quicker than doing it by hand, but you do need to make sure that you fix any errors that are there. If you have any questions about this, please let me know, and thanks for watching.